Welcome, patrons. How is everybody today? So this is a new thing. Sorry, it's late. God, a bunch of crap happened this morning. Unbelievable. So, but it's dealt with, and that's all that counts. So we are going to be doing this. Probably me, every Tuesday and Thursday. Hopefully, it's going to be around the same time as the normal nooner. But the times may shift based on what I have to do. I and this is kind of starting so we can possibly move to doing something in the morning daily on the channel. I just don't want to put it on the regular channel just yet in fear of burnout. And yeah, so it might just be me talking to myself. It's basically going to be like the daily news for like an hour every day. So hopefully you guys don't mind this. And there was a couple things I'm going to pop up in the chat here that came up. I'm doing a video on one, and the other one I'm not, because we don't really do Star Wars here. But the first thing, which was kind of buried at comicbook.com, there it is, and I will get it up here, is confirmation on how Luke died in The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is the dead horse that is being beaten to death. This is the only thing I found interesting. Mark Hamill tweeted, "The Force killed Luke. You have to acknowledge the irony of his fate. Almost like an addict that kicked this habit cold turkey, remained clean for decades, only to reuse just once and then, tragically, overdoses. Hashtag sad Skywalker, hashtag force fatality, hashtag Jedi junkie." Yikes. Okay, wow, that doesn't make anything any better. It just doesn't make anything any better. Let me get over to I just lost my chat. Damn it. Oh my god, there's a lot of people in here. What's up, everybody? Yeah, Jedi junkie. Okay. So what's up, everybody? How's it going? Yeah, I don't even know what to say about Star Wars anymore. I really don't. Other than it's dead and bye-bye. It's gone. I can't even muster up my carameter high enough to talk about it, other than I was not expecting that. I thought it was an ascension for him. So he truly was just sitting on that island sulking for decades. Man, that sucks. That really sucks what they did to Luke Skywalker. Sad hashtag sad Skywalker. Amazing. Otherwise, what's going on here? Let me get back to the chat again. So we have Morks and Viking Bitch. Hello, and Rolo Cat. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, I don't care. Neither love nor it's total apathy, Morks. It is. So I hear that and I just go, okay, move on. And I'm sure some of my friends will be making a gazillion videos on it, and I just can't muster up at all. And there was some other Star Trek news today. Was kind of funny. On Star Trek Discovery, they showed a picture of a line, and they had some like some guy from Voyager or something, or for Deep Space Nine, and it was at a con in Europe, a Star Trek convention, and it's some bit character from DS9 or Voyager. He had a big old Q, as they called it, and then Stamets and the other guy from Star Trek Discovery were there. And the guy who plays Stamets is kind of a big star. He was the guy who got Kevin Spacey in trouble, and there was nobody in line for them. It was kind of sad. On a happier note, I saw the article yesterday on The Expanse, trying to find it. I have been searching for Expanse news. As a matter of fact, I brought up the Everything Expanse Facebook today, and I go there, and there's a bunch of behind the scenes shooting. There's some good photos, but nothing like outwardly newsworthy. I don't know who. There's a couple characters I want to know, like who's cast, and it just hasn't. There's been no news, and Sci-Fi used to be pretty good with the casting news, but they don't do it anymore. So I don't know. But there's a character called Murtry, and I'm like dying to know who plays Murtry. And I won't tell you anything other than there's a character named Murtry. And if you've seen the Expanse book reviews, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you can find it, let me know. God, Ed, here I'll search it right now. Who is playing Adolphus Murtry? Adolphus Murtry in Expanse season 4. And I have you guys know that when I search for news in the morning, the first 4 things that I go to every day is Game of Thrones, where the fuck is Taboo season 2, Counterpart, and The Expanse. And then I'll put up Star Trek news. And unfortunately, Star Trek news has something new every day. I could do a video every day on that. And I don't. It's that's beginning to be a dead horse, in my opinion. There was something that came close to maybe doing a video on, and then Random did one. I'm like, I don't want to do one if she did one. And the news was that they're going to bring Star Trek more in line with they basically acknowledged that their Trek didn't feel like Trek, and they're going to steer it back towards Trek, which, like I said, there's been a lot of explaining, and but that's still just not worth. It's not worth doing a video, especially when one of our friends did a video on it already, and I don't want to step on anybody. I don't know. I'd rather do videos on, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be good news, but interesting stuff on actual shows we cover that we like. Like the American Gods one I did. I want more stuff like that. That's kind of what I want to do more of. I really like Midnight's Edge, their documentary ones. They just did one on Halloween, which was great. It's basically the history of the franchise and all the behind the scenes craziness that went on with the rights and everything. I highly recommend you see it. It's really good. And it also it kind of explains why DC can't come out with a good movie, and we have problems with all these intellectual properties. And it's generally the rights holders, it's the producers. They just never can get along, and it's all ego driven. And it's being a producer on a film is not unlike being an owner of a sports team. It's not super profitable. It is like owning a really expensive car. It's something you want to show off to your friends. And it's rare when we get somebody who owns an IP who actually gives a crap about it. And also I've been looking for Venture Brothers news, like any news, Viking Bitch on season 8, like anything. If I hear a whiff on that, I will make a video. Venture Brothers, to my delight, has done very well on our channel. It's one of our best performing things, the history of our channel. It performed better metrics wise than Westworld did. So it had consistently, thousands of clicks. And mind you, we don't do short videos. So if my reviews were, 10, 15 minutes and we didn't involve the chat, we'd probably get 3 times the clicks. The problem with that is you don't get the minutes watched. And I like to talk about it more with you guys. I think just me babbling on about a show is kind of boring. So I think, you guys are my co-host. So that will never change. That will never change. I mean, I did a test on it with Manifest, and the first episode of Manifest, we got like 10,000 views. The problem is it just like there was no interaction. And I can answer back to the comments, but I like having the live interaction. Yeah, you know what? I did. I got some DMs on that, Viking Bitch. I think we should. I think we should do a retro view from the beginning. I was right there with you. I was thinking the same thing. So if we'll get with Dennis. We will. God, we should have almost started it last week, huh? To keep the ball rolling on that. But do you think you can watch or rewatch season 1, say within a week? If you can, let me know. If you can't, I will work around your schedule. I can. It's no problem. They're short episodes, and I would love to rewatch season 1. It's kind of hard now to Mrs. Nerdrotic comes in and is like, why are you always in here now? I'm like, I'm doing work. I had to binge watch Daredevil. And she's like, You've been shut in your room for 2 hours. I'm like, yeah, I'm watching Daredevil. Sorry. And I got my little notepad out. So yeah, if you're down with that Viking bitch, I am totally down with like starting with season one, and we can do one a week or every couple weeks. Do it like Sunday night. That seems to be a good night. Our Venture Brothers season 7 review did great. I wasn't sure how I was going to do, and it's still getting a lot of views. So well done. I think that has a lot to do with you. So what's up, Chris? How you doing, Chris Persia? How are you? And greetings to all the loyal patrons. Again, thank you guys so much. I cannot thank you guys enough. It's a gas. This is so much fun. I had so much fun. I know some of my patrons like are not everybody's not sold on Doomcock, but I can highly recommend if you don't like some of his takes on shows and stuff, which I totally understand, and he understands too. But definitely check out our Exozone. That was awesome. We had 256 likes on that. That was pretty cool. Now, one mistake I made in that I will freely admit that I will never do again, and it was just in passing because somebody brought it up in the chat, and I even told my fucking self beforehand, because sometimes I have no control what comes out of my fucking mouth. Okay. So I told myself beforehand, there's two things you just never bring up at a conspiracy thing. Don't ever bring up the moon landing, and don't ever fucking bring up 9/11. And I fucking said 9/11, and I didn't really give any feelings on it one way or another, but man, it could have started some shit. I'm glad we quit. But my promise is those two things will never be uttered again. Because like, oh man, that's messy. It's just messy. And it's not anything I like to talk about, nor I care about, unless you want to talk about like the day and how you felt that day and how weird that day was. And I like Venture Brothers. It went off from my cable package and I didn't realize it. It was still going after season 5, so I'm catching up. Yeah, after season 5, was it? Correct me if I'm wrong, Viking bitch. If after season 5, it started like taking longer to come out. I did watch Exozone. It was a well thought out argument. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, we really tried to state that like anything we say on Exozone is just hypothetical. We're not stating anything as news. And I will assure you guys that yes, I'm a believer in UFOs and I like conspiracies and stuff. But I will say 50% of it I just watch for entertainment. I don't believe 100% of any of it. But it's nice to have an open mind, and it's fun. And you know, Art Bell used to be the best. And yeah, and it's nice to know that even if like 1% of that stuff is true, that the world is weird, because I don't want the world to be just normal and boring. Is that strange? Channels links on Patreon if you want to check them out later. Cool. I will, Morks, and I appreciate it. There was several years between seasons after season 4, you believe? Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty consistent in the beginning, and then they started. I don't know if they were doing other things, but I have to say that is certainly a great argument for taking your time on a series that you know, Venture Brother fans don't mind waiting a couple years because we get such consistent good work. You know, yeah, okay, that's cool. Doomcock was very kind to you, Gary. He loves you. I did tune out for SDD talk. Don't care. Yeah, and that's fine. That's totally cool. We don't expect you to like everything we put out, and that's why I try to stagger it, Viking bitch. I don't want to. Yeah, that's why I really. When it comes to Star Trek Discovery, it's got to be really. It's got to. I can either make a really funny video, an informative video, or at least a therapeutic video. And I think the therapeutic stuff I'm going to set, you know, like me getting outraged, is I'm going to save for the actual show when we recap it. And we got a Star Trek short coming up, so you can be sure to tune out for that one. That's November 8th. That's the next Star Trek short. But no, everything oh man, I try to stay conscious. of being mostly positive. No, it's not great for clicks. It really isn't. I don't care. I feel like we're building a better audience through just being patient and you know, yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have to be you know, rainbows and unicorns all the time, though. Yeah, Viking or Venture Brothers is so good. I don't mind waiting. Sometimes it's hard, but it's worth it. It really is. I'll be there with bells on for Counterpart. Yeah, so for Counterpart, here's what I was thinking. Um, we'll do our. I want Counterpart to be our first watch party, and I'm actually going to put it on the main channel. But all the watch parties after that are going to be Patreon only, and we'll have to work out the logistics for that. But I want it to be. I would love to do one where we're watching it all live together, but it's going to be on Stars and Amazon Prime, I believe. So we can't really do that. So we can all decide when it gets closer on a time, and yeah, we'll watch it all together. Um, I think that would be cool, and then we can do a recap afterwards. So it'll just be like, oh, and then that way, at least on Stars, you can go watch it first without interruption the first time, and then we have the watch party together. So that way we can kind of talk over it, and we'll probably use Discord on that. Oh man, my Discord computer wouldn't boot up last night. I never expect rainbows and unicorns unless it's happy. Then some unicorns. Yeah, watch out for the rainbow colored things though. Those are the carrots that make the reindeer fly. My God, that happy trailer was so good. Oh my God. I go back and rewatch it. Um, it's just sad how Derek was treated on that one. It's such a bummer. It's such a bummer. So the other thing, this is the thing that this isn't super positive. It's just I'm pointing something out, and so I am making a video today on the Doctor Who ratings, and they dipped like majorly on that third episode. And it's not going to be a rubbing it in the face type of video. It's going to be more of a big picture thing. So it's not going to be related to Jodie Whittaker. It's going to be more related to just how the show has performed in the last 3 years without any consideration of who or what is playing the Doctor. So I want to make it clear on that one. It's not going to be like this big old sexist rant or anything like that. It's going to be related to just how the BBC has treated this wonderful IP lately, and how things can get too big, too big to succeed. I think I said that for Star Wars and Star Trek, and I think it might be happening a little bit with Doctor Who, and it's just kind of a bummer. And maybe that's why it's good to get into new things while they're just like Expanse. Expanse, while it's on Amazon, it's still this little beautiful thing that's untouched by the general masses, and it's just purely good. It's kind of like when you get into that band early before they completely sell out. So that's what the video is going to be about. I hope that's not too complicated for some people to think, but yeah, the ratings dipped 50%. They nosedived. It's yeah. Thanks, Viking bitch. Yeah, it's I mean, it'll be good again someday. I mean, the thing is, when these things run themselves out, they die for a little while, but they'll come back in some form or another, and they might improve. Sometimes it takes something being driven into the ground, kind of like recovery. When you hit your bottom, you don't really improve until you hit your bottom, and maybe that's what needs to happen with some of this stuff. As it hits its bottom, it goes away for a little while, and honestly, Doctor Who's gone through that already. It hit its bottom, it disappeared for a while, and it stayed alive in comics and stuff. And when it came back freaking great. So that can happen. That can totally happen. It pays to be a fan of something obscure. It protects it from fame. Exactly. I mean, that's why Farscape is kind of perfect. Viking bitch. Farscape is perfect. because it never got too big. And I know it breaks your guys' hearts. I mean, I'm not a scaper yet. I'll probably be there in the next week or so. But you guys can hold on to the fact that they're probably not going to remake your show, and it remains pure. And you got what you got. You can go rewatch it, and there's comics and stuff like that. And I can't wait to read some of those. Oh my god, I saw who was it on our hangout? Like showed all the comics, and I'm like, oh, I gotta buy them. I gotta buy them all. And yes, so, but yeah, that show. Oh man, it's almost perfect. It really is. I've learned to trust your taste, Viking bitch. Um, Liam, well, not quite. It's a 40. No, it was in the UK, and it was in the US was a 50% rating dips. The UK was like a 40 set 43, 47. It got 6.4 million views overnight. That's based on the 8.2 it got on its first night. Now, it's normal for a show to dip after its premiere. It's usually 20% on the second episode, and starts to and actually the second episode's usually high, and then third and fourth it dips some more, and then it levels out. We got to see now. It's still too early to tell because it's we got to see what the season average is and everything. The problem is, and I'll get into it in my video, Liam, that I think Doctor Who really does need the two-parter, and it does need the overarching story. I don't think the one-off episode thing just doesn't work anymore for Doctor Who. It doesn't. I think the kind of people who like Doctor Who like that kind of storytelling. They want the overarching story. Now, you don't have to make it there's different ways to make it. Okay. You can like put little threads of it at the end of every episode or every other couple episodes, and it's still an overarching story, and you still can do your one-off episodes. I think people dipped on the last one because the subject matter, while being a very good story and a story of heroism, I don't think that's what people watch Doctor Who for. They that I would say that, and we can relate it to any other and listen, Rosa Parks is a historic figure, and it's tragic. It's absolutely fucking tragic that she lived a hard life afterwards. It took till, and they even mentioned the show took till 1990 fucking 9 to give her due. Now, what was behind the actual story, well, there's tons of conjectures, and it's my opinion that the ends justify the means with this one. No matter how she got on that bus and what the circumstances were, it was fucked up. And but the thing is, it's not fun subject matter. All right, just like I wouldn't want the Doctor going to concentration camps, and that's that was even brought up to me in a DM. It's like, what are we going to start having the Doctor go to concentration camps and stuff? And why didn't the Doctor stop that? And is that a fixed point in time? It's like, they don't want to don't go near that stuff. It's just, this is supposed to be a fun show. It's supposed to be a fun show. That's it. Not, you don't want to not acknowledge that stuff existed and stuff. And it's not being against the message. It's just like, I just want to watch my show and have fun. That's all. And occasionally thinking is fine, but I really like the episodes where they go back in time and with reverence, and we got like I said, the Vincent and the Doctor thing, man, that gave me goosebumps. That was so good. And it made me, it made me go up and look up Vincent Van Gogh and learn a little more about him, because I knew generally what was up with him, but not much, so I actually spent like a day just trolling around the internet looking up Vincent Van Gogh stuff. And yeah, but because it was done with reverence, and not saying they didn't treat Rosa Parks well. They did. It was kind of basic and elementary, and just, it's dark. So but I love Doctor Who. I don't want Doctor Who to fail. I've said that repeatedly. I don't want Doctor Who to fail. I still shit. I bought, what did I while I was on the podcast, I bought a Dalek on eBay. I gotta stop the shopping while I'm fucking live streaming. It's bad. Exactly. Like, there's lots of great documentaries to talk about important historical figures. A light, fun show doesn't need to go there. It doesn't. And, the documentaries can like dive into the realness of it. And that's what they're there for. I don't need the BBC to teach me a lesson. Thank you very much. But here I'll go to it was on Doctor Who TV. Well, you guys will see the video. So it got 6.4 million. Now that wasn't extrapolated out because Liam, you guys over in the UK are, well, you're smarter than us and you do better rating system than us. So what you do is at first you do the overnight, and then like another day or two later you get the streaming and everything. Now it's much bigger these days as it was back in the day. But Jodie Whittaker's like extended day out was like 10.5 million people. That's like extraordinary number. That's almost as much as Eccleston's appearance, which was 10.8. But then it went down 7.2, which was extrapolated out to 8.4, and this one was 6.4. Now in America, it was a 1.3 million. And then it stayed pretty steady in the second episode. It was about 1.1 million. And then it went right down to Capaldi numbers. It was like 600,000 people watched it. Now, again, our ratings are really ancient, and we need to figure out a new way to do them, because I guarantee you more people watched than 600,000. I mean, you just look on Twitter and you can tell. One thing I did hear that's interesting is how they figure out ratings metrics to sell to other places for the streaming services that don't give numbers. They rate it on how many people talk about it. So they use this system of, if somebody hashtags, say, Star Trek, they count that as interest in your show. So even if somebody's going, Star Trek was the biggest piece of shit, they count that as interest in your show. I don't know where they get that logic. That's crazy. Documentaries aren't escapism, it's realism. Why is everything trying to force the politics of the day into our entertainment? It goes through phases, Chris, as you know. Life goes through phases, and right now we're in a hyper political time, especially when it gets close to election here in the States. It gets hyper political. It just hasn't usually it tones down in between election seasons, and it hasn't. And I honestly, I've told you before, I stopped watching news a long time ago, and it's not that I'm super sensitive to that stuff. It just, ever since I've done that, I've been happier in my life, because most things I see on there, I cannot personally control. And unless I can, when I vote, I read my entire booklet. I'm one of those people. Like when I bought my house, I read every fucking word of the contract, and boy, that made me sick by the time I was done with it, by the way. And and almost didn't want to do it after that. I was like, oh, what? Yeah. But yeah, as far as like just watching the news every day, oh man, it's depressing. But I watch and I love documentaries, and that's the other thing, is news just gives you spoon-fed stuff. I'd rather dive way deeper into it and see like what really happened. And I'm a huge history buff, so. Yeah, the pendulum, it will swing hard one way or the other for before coming back to the center. It does. You just got to, when it's swinging, you got to dodge it. You got to dodge it. Those of us who are sitting like in the middle going, nobody listens to us anymore. Yeah, I haven't watched it either. It is all about shock. As I've stated before, the very bad sequel to Ron Burgundy said it best: when we don't want to tell the people what they need to hear, we need to tell the people what they want to hear. And no truer words have been spoken. Finobi is missed. Where is movie Finobi? Is he probably working? Huh? He's probably working. Oh man. So yeah, I'm getting all the comic books together for the store. Mrs. Nerdrotic got her big gig. Kids at school. they're going on a field trip today to go see some movie, and yeah, it must be hard. So my kid goes to school and he gets out. Man, I wish they did this when I was in school. So he goes to school, full time Monday through Thursday, then Friday, and this is a thing now. Like they do this at every school. I don't know. Maybe they've started doing it where you guys do, where they let them out Friday at 12:30. So they just basically do a half day. So they only go to school 4.5 days. Like, where the fuck was that when I was in school? Jealous. I might have paid more attention. Yeah, Mrs. Nerdrotic's. Well, she still runs the salon and everything, but she's become oh god, I'm forgetting her last name now. Kate from the B-52s. Is it Kate Pearson? Yeah, Kate Pearson. So Kate Pearson from the B-52s, she is her West Coast personal hairstylist now. And it's like a life's ambition for Melissa. Like, doing the beehive wigs and stuff. That basically it was the B-52's hair that got her interested in hair to begin with when she was a little girl. So when Kate Pearson's I think that her hairstylist retired or moved or something. She needed a West Coast person, and Melissa was recommended, because she's kind of famous in that field, I guess. It's weird. It's weird. I go to the parties and stuff, and I'm not super into the hair world, right? But every time I go there, they're like, "Your wife is the star," and I'm like, "Really? Cool." Yeah, she is. High school in Australia is 4.5 days. Only thing is the only other half day is dedicated to sports to promote health and exercise, which is smart and good. They try to do that here. There's just no room in the city. It's weird. The schools here are buildings, and there's like they get a blacktop. But fortunately, my kid is near this place called Dolores Park. If you ever saw Sense8 on Netflix, the first episode has a big scene in Dolores Park. That's Dolores Park. It's pretty huge. It's a weird park though, because it's on a hill with like this really huge, downgrade, and it's tiered, and it smells like pot smoke all the time. Yeah, people do really love their hair. The hairdresser thing is fascinating because they really are like psychologists and best friends. Uh, Melissa gets calls at all hours of the night. It's weird. Well, thanks, Marks. Yeah, she was so stoked. Of course, it probably doesn't pay very well. Those, the stars practically get all their stuff for free, but that's all right. I will pass that on. And she gets some free travel down to LA for it. So that's good. That is good. Oh man. There's a bunch of talk about Halloween, and I don't know about you guys. I am not a slasher movie person. I don't know about you. I've never been into those. I like supernatural horror, but I don't like serial killer horror. Never been a fan of it. I liked Nightmare on Elm Street. I did like that one. But not a fan of Jason or Michael Myers, and not anything against people who are. I know it's like a really cool genre, and John Carpenter's great. And I did watch the first Halloween and enjoyed it for what it was. But yeah, but that's the big talk this weekend, how much money it made. And it's cool seeing Jamie Lee Curtis. Melissa and I met her briefly one time in a Starbucks. She was super nice. Always loved her. And yeah, it's cool seeing her get, I love it when these that was the best thing about Cobra Kai, guys, right? Was just seeing Ralph Macchio, and I'm forgetting the other guy, get their day in the sun again, because fame is so fleeting, and they probably thought, their careers were done and they can get bit parts and they can live off the royalties of their old movies, and then they get called back out of nowhere going, "Hey, you want to be in this show?" And it turns out to be this ginormous hit. It's a cool story. I like that. Oh, Apostle was good. No, nobody knows that thing is out, and I'm wondering if it's the title name. I have been trying to push that thing I even tried to push it on Doomcock. Because I'm trying to get other YouTubers to talk about it, so there'd be more interest in it. Um, and maybe people will find it later. I'm going to keep it up on the channel because that's one of those things where I wouldn't be surprised if I go back 6 months later and then it has 1,000 views because people finally got around to watching it. That's the problem with Netflix is buries some of its stuff. Apostle was very, very good and strange. And I don't want to spoil it in here, guys, but it's really cool. It's gory though. It's a little gory. But it's got Dave Stevens from Legion in it, and it's really, really good. And Tamarox, the great Tamarox, gave a super chat and asked us to take a look at it. And so I want to thank him and Dennis. Dennis saw it too, and he really liked it. Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. I think I can get used to this. Still processing Daredevil a little bit. God. So apparently the word on the street why the Netflix shows are getting canceled is they are just way too expensive. And what it is the shooting in New York has a lot to do with it. And Netflix doesn't want to pay. I guess what Marvel did was bump up the fee. So they have the rights to it, but they still have to actually sell them the series. And Netflix does not want to pay that much. So they're all going to go away, which sucks. And we talked about it in our Daredevil review. But that's okay. What you guys will be really interested in when because I think they're making room for Mark Millar. Mark Millar is a comic book writer, and he's kind of got his own universe called Millar World. And you might have seen some stuff from it before. The Kingsman is from Millar World, and Wanted is by Mark Millar. The comic books are excellent, so you will be pleasantly surprised. That's the kind of stuff like even Viking Bitch will be into. If you like Kingsman at all, if you like that, if it's very happy-ish. I think you guys will like it a lot, and they're going to start putting a lot more stuff on Netflix, and that's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good. If Marks, if they do a proper Wanted, that would be the greatest thing ever. Now, Wanted, you guys saw the movie. It had James McAvoy in it. The comic is drawn to star. Millar is really big on having his artist draw his characters like celebrities, so that Samuel L. Jackson being Nick Fury. Nick Fury was originally white, but they did an alternate universe comic that Mark Millar wrote, and they made Nick Fury look like Samuel L. Jackson, which actually happened in the movies. So in Wanted, our main character is drawn like Eminem, and his associate, who Angelina Jolie played in the movie, was drawn to look like Halle Berry. Yeah. So if they like actually get Eminem, I think that would be great. The Butcher and the Boys, who's played by Carl Urban, was originally drawn like Robert Shaw from Jaws. Yeah. Yeah, Chris, The Apostle is a movie. Yeah, and it is on the Netflix list. If you have Netflix, starring Dan Stevens, yes, definitely watch it. It's a little over 2 hours, and it's not what you think. Okay, I'll just start. It starts out like something, and you're like, okay, this is interesting, and then it turns into something else, and you're like, ooh, wow, that was cool. I love it when they do that. Oh, The Boys is going to be good, Viking Bitch. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait either. Yes, there's lots of torture in The Apostle. Looking to see if there's anything else. Oh, I just had a big old cup of coffee. What the hell? Oh yeah, okay. So Legends of Tomorrow came back, and I know it's got Constantine, and I know some people really like the CW shows, but I watched like 10 minutes and I just can't. It's every reason why I don't like the CW. It's got like a bunch of heroes in it that I like and are interesting. And Constantine seriously is one of the most interesting characters in the DC universe. And of course, it's just wrapped about around who he's sleeping with. That's the whole thing. Is like because Constantine is I wouldn't say bi, he's omnisexual, like he'll just have sex with anything. Or is that pansexual? Is that what they use? So that's part of his character, but it's just him and a guy named Gary, of course. And it's just it's like are they together? It's always like who's shipping who, and it's like I don't give a shit unless you're going to actually show them actually having sex, which I still don't give a shit. I want to see superhero action. My main beef with the CW. Oh boy, it started out so good too. I really like Arrow season 1 and 2, and oh well. Yeah, they're going to be doing the thing again. I don't know why, but they are. But not much else. I always go to the big ones first. Let's go to Deadline here real quick. Ooh, David Tennant. What's David Tennant? David Tennant's going to be in a movie called Quicksand. Blumhouse is going to start a television division. Warner Brothers fired somebody. Don't care. Steve Carell. Nothing. No, nothing there. So yeah, I go to Variety, Deadline, and then Hollywood Reporter, and then I hit all the comic sites, which are just repeats of them. It's amazing how much plagiarism is going on, and nobody does it. The internet. Yeah, because if you go to comic, we should go to Susan. We should. Oh, you know what? That's what I'm going to start doing. We got to check out 1428elm.com every morning. See how our Ghost. Is anybody a fan of the band Ghost? I am. I am a fan of the band Ghost, but Tobias Forge of Ghost lawsuit verdict is appealed. So apparently Ghost is basically Tobias and then a bunch of session musicians, and the original musicians want some money and blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of articles. Bubba Hotep and the Cosmic Bloodsucker sale. Oh, I like that. That's a Bubba Hotep comic that's out. There we go. Eli Roth's History of Horror, and Susan's been writing about this. Just want to show off one of her articles because we love Susan. She is like really good people. Hey, when you bring somebody on the show, and I've like never met her personally, wasn't too sure if it was going to work. I would say it's worked pretty well. Wouldn't you say? She's fucking awesome. So yeah, she was talking to me about this and said it's really good. If you're into horror, check this out. Check out her article. Always go to 1428 Elm as much as you can if you're into that stuff. Fansided is they're actually if you click on Fansided here, it's a sports thing, but they do like Winter is Coming. They do a bunch of fan sites too. Is coming.net. And yeah, so you might have noticed that the last couple of weeks I've brought up Game of Thrones, which is something we haven't, if you're new to the channel, we haven't brought up a lot. I'm a giant fan, and you will be seeing now that we're getting closer and they're actually coming out with news. I will be doing more videos on Game of Thrones stuff. I'll try to stay away from major spoilers except for yesterday, but I think that was the Tyrion spoiler was basically he said he was going to die. I don't think he's going to die. I really don't. I think that was misinformation, fake news. Of late, Game of Thrones used to be terrible at kind of stopping their spoilers, but I think lately they've learned how to use misinformation. They've actually shot fake scenes, and I think it's worked. I can't wait. Right here it says Dubrovnik mayor explains his Game of Thrones tourism problem. Melissa and I plan to go there. I can't wait to go there. But yeah, there's no real news. Nothing. Nothing at all. That's too bad. But when something comes out, I believe it will be out in April. So I think that's good. That's good. Slowly but surely, we're going to have more shows to cover, guys, and we're in this like major dry spell right now. Wasn't planning on covering Doctor Who. I thought Manifest would be a little better, and we continue. I thought Gifted would be better, but the Gifted just was, whoa, man, wow, it went south, like really bad. So I didn't want to just bitch about it. Um, the thing is, our formula, which I can tell to the patrons, is generally if Dennis and I both like seriously hate something, it's not good enough. If one of us hates it and one of us likes it, then it's good enough to put on the show because we can have a debate about it. But if it's just two people bitching about a show, it's not very interesting. So the Constantine series on NBC was good. How was the animation? The animated one was really good, Matthew. I'll do a review here. I'll do a review here on it. It was very, very good. Huge Constantine fan, but CW, man, and they got Matt Ryan too, and I'm like, maybe he shouldn't have done that. Yeah, it is. It's on its own. The Constantine animated series is very much in the vein of the DC animated stuff. I thought it was fun. Anytime he gets any kind of play, I'm happy about it. Oh, have you been on the Dubrovnik tour, Viking bitch? Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I want to go. Um, but every time I go to Europe, I threaten not to come back home. Love it over there. I don't know why I like I don't know why I like the UK so much. It's beautiful in its own way, but I mean it's pretty flat. It's pretty green. It's pretty foggy. But I love it. But I hate the fog here. I do. It's just because it's freaking foggy all the time. The only thing I like about San Francisco is it does rain occasionally up here. Where I grew up, it rained like 5 days a year. It'd be 80 degrees on Christmas, which isn't bad. You could go. Yes, we have had beach parties on Christmas Day. True story. Um, that's San Diego for you, though. Yeah, Morks. That's what's not like about the CWs. The Flash. Barry isn't Flash. Iris and he together are wrong. And that whole mystery about their daughter thing, which I didn't watch, but I saw Charlie streams from Emergency Awesome do a video like every other day on it. So much where I got sick of it. I've not been to Ireland, Rolocat. Flew over it, and I want to go really, really bad, really bad. That's going to be so when we're going next year. So I'll be in Ireland next year. We're going to Europe for 3-4 weeks. We're going to spend 2 of them in the UK, Ireland. Then we're going to go to like Greece, hang out in Greece. We're doing a big because we haven't done a big proper like serious vacation in a decade. We went on a family road trip. That was kind of the closest thing we've got to a vacation, which is fun. If you guys ever get to the States, if you're out of the States and you ever get to the States and you can spend a long time here, I highly recommend a Southwest road trip, especially you guys in Europe who probably haven't seen I don't know if I mean I don't want to pretend I know what your life is or anything, but probably haven't seen a lot of big wide open deserts and stuff that are beautiful. And Southwest is awesome. It really is. Empty highways. It's yeah. Monument National Forest is bizarre. It's beautiful. And empty, empty, not a soul in sight. Me too. Just my Christmas were at Bondi and Manly Beach before the move to the cold north. Yes. You've only been to Canada? Someday I will see more. Canada's awesome, Viking bitch. Um, I haven't been to Canada in years. Oh God, Viking bitch, you will never leave Meow Wolf. When you walk in there, you will get emotional. It is so beautiful. To the to the artist, and not just any particular artist, like your kind of artist. Um, yeah, it is brilliant. I cannot wait to go back, and you got to go to the proper one in Santa Fe. Now, I'm going to check out the Vegas one, but the one in Santa Fe is the original. What Meow Wolf is, guys, is an old bowling alley in Santa Fe, New Mexico that George R. R. Martin bought and gave to some artists. And so it turned into an artist installation, but it's a certain type. It's like, it's pop art. So it's an installation for modern pop art. And yeah, it's immersive. You go into a house and you play like a little game. And there's parts where you're in this house and on the outside. So there's a full house built inside of the bowling alley. And then you walk in the house and it looks at first glance, it looks like a totally normal house. And you open the refrigerator and you can walk down the stairs through the refrigerator and you end up in this like bizarre, it's great. Like they have a YouTube channel. You can check it out. And apparently Meow Wolf was the first two words or the first words of the first two people who entered it. I don't know why. That's something how they got their name. Yeah, well, if you're from Australia, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's actually there's more wide open spaces than we have here. You are right. There is like nothing. But I like that. I definitely like that. I gotta go to Australia someday too. I really, really do. Uh, I have watched their YouTube videos for Meow Wolf. I kind of want to live there. Yeah, I haven't been that artistically inspired in years. Melissa and I walked out of there going, "We want to make our house like Meow Wolf." Of course, we haven't yet because it takes time and money. But actually, I could now. We could start. It's nuts. Yeah, all in a good way. Oh, who doesn't like a good party? Roller cat. All right, kids. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap. Well, we got a few more minutes. We'll go an hour. Then I got to go back to comic book land. I've really got to stop reading the comics. It's making this project go so slow. Oh, yeah. Also, no, I got to find a centralized location. So I spent all this morning clearing out two emails, which took forever. So, so I kept everything for a month. So if you have any messages to me that you sent to nerdrotics at Gmail that are a month old, resend them and I'll get back to them now because I'm going to be able to check my email regularly. I still haven't cleaned out my Twitter message box. That's going to be done later today. It's going to happen in phases. Um, it's a little. It's not. I mean, it's a little overwhelming, but it's totally doable. It just I have to clean some stuff out and get ready so I can be more communicative. Um, yeah. And everything is hunky dory on the YouTube side. Very happy with the analytics. Last time I checked, I mean, I think I was expecting to lose a couple of subs on our Daredevil review. That's no big deal. But I think we're doing okay. Only lost one. Only lost one, and we'll get that one back. Everything else, the videos are doing pretty good. The only one that's not doing good is Apostle, unfortunately, but I'll keep that one up. I will keep looking for Expanse news. That is my highest priority. Maybe even I can just try to get a bunch of little news bits together to make a video. I wonder does anybody know when we get the results of the voting for the E Channel People's Choice Awards? Or are they just going to wait till the award show, I guess, and tell us? I'm pretty sure the Expanse won. Christmas is coming. I know. Oh man, it's already like everywhere here. There's Christmas stuff everywhere. So I like Christmas. I'm fine with that. Also, Christmas means the Orville 5 days later. So happy about that. Christmas is kind of nothing in our household because Melissa has to work Christmas Eve. So, and then when I'm retailing, I work Christmas Eve. So we usually take New Year's is much more of a festive thing for us. And also we celebrate Boxing Day. We are firm believers in the Boxing Day because we work Christmas Eve. We're down with December 26th. But I'm like a man. I watch all the I watch Rudolph. I watch Elf. The family sits down and we watch Christmas Vacation, Die Hard. Yeah. We watch all our Christmas movies. Totally into it. I love putting up decorations. Yeah. Spoiling my kids a little bit. Yeah, it's not really scary, Feisty. Yes, Expanse, please. You probably the work must continue. Yes. There's just a bunch of little bits, but I think if I dig hard enough, we can find enough to do a video on just like season 4, what's going on. I'll reach out to Belinda. She's pretty good with that stuff and see if she knows it. But she knows stuff that can't be told, unfortunately. I have been told some things that I cannot say. So, I mean, they'd be totally worth doing a video on, but I've been sworn to secrecy, so I got to stick with that. Just know it's going to be great, and they are putting more money into it, which is just awesome. And it's going to be really different. It's going to be just different. Same characters and everything put in, and this, this is the time you shake something up. As season 4 is when you start expanding, you start doing different things with your characters. It's happening this season, and you will be pleased. Yeah, it just sucks when these dang shows take so long. It's like, oh my, that's why I was like, oh, I whooped when I heard when you gave that message to Dennis about the Counterpart. I whooped. I was like, oh, thank God something is coming back that we can cover. I'm counting the days. I will be doing a video prior to that why you should be doing a documentary fully edited why you should be watching Counterpart. I mean, okay, Viking bitch. Have you seen those couple videos that are out there? Why Farscape is awesome? It's going to be based on that. I'm basically using that. I'm going to copy everything about that guy's formula, and it's like a 10-minute video that explains like why Farscape is awesome, and it's like just the 10 best things that make Farscape awesome. It's a good video. It's old, but that's what I'm going to do with Counterpart. And I'm probably going to watch some more Farscape today. So a little far, I put on Farscape in the background while I'm doing stuff, or I listen to one of our friends live stream. Um, this morning just got totally away from me. There was there was some stuff. But it's fine now. We're dealing a little bit with the guy who rear-ended me. He's kind of being a D-bag. So I had to kind of get daddy on him a little bit. So we have a leased car, so we have to report it. Okay, we can't just take cash, and plus I don't have a ton of time, and Melissa doesn't have a ton of time to go running around and getting estimates to save this guy money. It's not going to ding his insurance that much. I was apologetic at first. I'm like, sorry, man. If it wasn't a lease, I'd work with you, but it's a lease. We're a month away from returning the car, by the way. We have to return it next month. We're under mileage, so we can sell it back and make some money. Yeah. So I reported to his insurance like I told him he was going to do, and then he freaking texts me going, "What the fuck, dude?" And starts with all that. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Pump the brakes, buddy. Um, let's talk like adults here, and let's think about this. So I told him, I said, it's not going to affect you. It really isn't. It only affects you if it's above a deductible or anything like that. I don't know what your insurance is, but it's going to cost your insurance company probably $500. That's really going to be nothing. The thing is, it's my time that he's not thinking about. And I had to explain that to him. It's like, I don't have hours to give up to go to a body shop to try to save you a couple bucks. Now, if he would have offered a body shop, because he's the one who hit me, if I hit him, totally different story. He hit me. So I don't feel like I need to give him any of my time. I know it sounds like a total dick, but it's true. So there you go. That's what I was dealing with this morning. And he understood and apologized for cussing at me. People. What the Expanse did on the small budget compared to STD is amazing. It is. Expanse shows, I believe, were 3 million an episode. 3 million an episode. And if you go to the Facebook page and you see that Jim Murray guy, he shows like what they do with the sets and stuff the talent. I'm in awe of the talent of like what they can do with the sets, how they make sets look so different. And the artistry that goes into set building is fascinating and wonderful. Oh, and by the way, that's what I'm going to be for Halloween. Melissa found, I'm just going to be thanks to Feisty, a Tycho engineer. She found a Top Gun jumpsuit that we're going to put some the Tycho patches on, and I'm going to be a belter. We're going to do the fake tattoo on the neck and everything. So that's what I'm going to be for Halloween, is a belter. We were thinking about being a belter infected with proto-molecule. So I got to find like a little power pack, and then we're going to get some blue Christmas lights and wrap them around. And yeah. Hey, Marks, I'm out of here too. Yeah. So belter costume. You get a Top Gun jumpsuit, you get some Christmas lights, and you get a Tycho engineering patch, and you can do a fake tattoo with some, with some whatever, makeup and stuff. And yeah, there you go. Instant belter. I heard the interior art of the Return of Wolverine had a Captain Afra printing in it. Feisty. That's what I read this morning. Well, the interior art for all Marvel comics sucks. That's what happens when you pay artists like $10 a page. Okay, kiddos, I'm gonna run. Bye, Morks. Who else? Chris Persia and Matthew Matson and Feisty Fan and Rolo Cat and Liam Hodgetts and of course Sculpted Leather Art by Viking Bitch. Yeah, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to be doing this every Tuesday and Thursday to kind of stay warmed up on the Nooners, and eventually we'll do them weekly on the channel, but we'll always do something here. I just want to give you guys more content. We're going to kind of move towards that phase once we're done with the initial first year of Patreon, giving away stuff. Because we gave you stuff in lieu of like content, and we're going to kind of phase the giving away stuff out. But everybody who's signed up right now, you're still getting your stuff, so don't worry about that. The tiers will change probably next year. It'll probably be a little cheaper, so it can be more accessible. But Chris, thank you. You have a constructive afternoon too. It's it's very German to accomplish something. We need to feel accomplished. We need to feel like we did something that day. No super chats here. I would not allow them here. You guys already pay for this. It is totally cool. No, this is our secret. This is for patrons. So you can subscribe here and that's totally cool. But no, I would not accept a super chat. Heck no. But thank you for the thoughts. I really do appreciate it. But no, you guys already pay for this service, and hopefully I'm just better at quality, and so I can earn what you guys have kindly donated for this. It is really helping. It helps. Our subscription bill is massive. So it's like $200 something a month for all the things we subscribe to. But hey, it's totally worth it. And oh my God, it's so hard to watch all that television. You find creative ways. So yeah, sorry, the interior art sucks. Go stare at a good drawing. Go look at something by John Byrne. Go look at a John Byrne Fantastic Four for a minute just to kind of cleanse your palate, Feisty Fan. That's what I tend to do. Or I can I grab something here? You want to see Jack Kirby Prisoner? Yeah, there we go. This is beautiful. Here, look at this for a second. That will cleanse your palate. Good art. Good art. Okay, there you go. I like big books. And I cannot lie. Okay, you guys are great. Thank you for hanging out. And I will see you all. There's a Nooner tomorrow on the regular channel, and then be back here on Thursday. And then Friday morning, in the Nooner time slot on the regular channel, I will be doing Titans. And I'm just praying it gets better so we can talk about or something. We only cover 2 shows right now, and they're both not very good. So I need them to be better. So I don't want to be complaining about 2 shows. I really don't. And Counterpart can't come soon enough. In the meantime, Viking Bitch, tell me just in a direct message or whenever when you think you can finish up Venture Brothers season 1. And I'll talk to Dennis. We'll get together and we'll do Venture Brothers retro review of season 1 as soon as you are ready. How's that sound? I want to do it a Sunday though, Sunday evening, if that's okay with you. Evening for you, by the way. Cool. All right, everybody, have a great day. And yes, Doctor Who video incoming in a couple hours. Other than that, may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao.